Churchill versus Hitler, the ultimate showdown. Two men, two completely different approaches to innovation and warfare.
We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
But then he's also this poet who is able to translate that to the public.
One believed in rigid control and conventional thinking. The other embraced chaos, creativity, and impossible ideas.
We are in a very different position from that we were in 10 weeks ago. We are far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago. We are far better prepared to endure the worst malice of Hitler and his Huns.
The clash between Churchill and Hitler wasn't just about ideology. It was about two fundamentally different ways of solving problems. And the winner would determine the future of human civilization. Welcome back to Churchill Uncovered. Today, we're analyzing the ultimate strategic showdown, Churchill versus Hitler. Not just as political leaders, but as innovators, problem solvers, and military strategists. Because understanding how these two minds worked reveals why one succeeded and the other failed, catastrophically. The innovation philosophies, order versus chaos. To understand why Churchill defeated Hitler, you need to understand their completely opposite approaches to innovation and problem solving. Hitler's philosophy, rigid control. Hitler believed in top-down control, standardized solutions, and eliminating variables. He wanted standardized weapons produced in massive quantities, clear hierarchies with no questioning of order, elimination of unreliable elements, Jews, intellectuals, free thinkers, focus on perfecting existing technologies rather than developing new ones. Churchill's philosophy, controlled chaos. Churchill embraced complexity, encouraged dissent, and thrived on multiple solutions. He promoted diverse weapons development with multiple competing projects, flat hierarchies where anyone could propose ideas, integration of different perspectives and expertise, constant experimentation with revolutionary technologies. This wasn't just a difference in management style, it was a fundamental difference in how they understood innovation itself. Hitler thought innovation came from control. Churchill knew it came from freedom. Weapons development, quantity versus quality innovation. The difference in their innovation philosophies became clear in how they approached weapons development. Hitler's approach, standardization and scale. Hitler focused on mass-producing proven designs. Panzer IV tanks, reliable, standardized, mass-produced. Messerschmitt Bf 109, effective fighter, but little innovation after 1940. U-boats, successful design, but resistant to major improvements. V-2 rockets, impressive but impractical wonder weapons. Hitler's weapons were often excellent, but they were evolutionary, not revolutionary. He improved existing concepts rather than inventing new ones. Churchill's approach, parallel innovation. Churchill funded multiple competing solutions to every problem. Tank development, Churchill tanks. Cromwell tanks, specialized variants. Aircraft, Spitfires, Hurricanes, Mosquitoes, jet engines, rocket planes. Naval warfare, conventional ships, midget submarines, artificial harbors. Special weapons, bouncing bombs, sticky bombs, proximity fuses. Churchill didn't just want one good solution. He wanted 5 different solutions, then he'd pick the best one or use them all. The result, by 1943, British weapons technology was advancing faster than German technology, despite Germany's larger industrial base. Intelligence and information, closed versus open systems. The contrast between Churchill and Hitler becomes even clearer when you look at how they handled intelligence and information. Hitler's information bubble. Hitler created a closed information system, only heard what his subordinates thought he wanted to hear, punished bearers of bad news, creating incentives for false reporting, relied on ideology rather than evidence for major decisions, ignored intelligence that contradicted his preconceptions. This led to catastrophic intelligence failures, underestimating Soviet military capacity, failing to detect Allied D-Day preparations, missing the development of radar and code breaking, overestimating German technological advantages. Churchill's information network. Churchill created an open information system, demanded multiple sources for every piece of intelligence, rewarded accurate reporting, even when it was pessimistic, integrated information from spies, code breakers, scientists, and soldiers, changed his mind when evidence contradicted his assumptions. This led to superior strategic decisions, accurate assessment of German capabilities and intentions, early detection of German technological developments, successful deception operations, D-Day, North Africa, effective allocation of resources based on real intelligence. Churchill understood something Hitler never grasped. In a complex world, the leader with the best information wins. Decision-making under pressure. Democracy versus dictatorship. The ultimate test of their different approaches came in how they made decisions under extreme pressure. Hitler's decision-making, the dictator's trap. As a dictator, Hitler could make decisions quickly, but this became a weakness. No one dared contradict him, leading to unchallenged bad decisions. He became increasingly isolated from reality. His decisions became more erratic as the war progressed. He couldn't delegate effectively because he trusted no one. Key examples of Hitler's decision-making failures. Declaring war on America after Pearl Harbor, unnecessary enemy. Refusing to allow strategic retreats led to massive losses. Micromanaging military operations from Berlin, tactical disasters. Focusing on wonder weapons instead of practical improvements. Churchill's decision-making, democratic innovation. Churchill maintained democratic processes even during wartime. Cabinet debates ensured multiple perspectives on every decision. Military advisors could argue with him without fear. He changed his mind when presented with better evidence. He delegated operational decisions to field commanders. Key examples of Churchill's decision-making successes: maintaining the alliance with Stalin despite ideological differences, supporting risky innovations like radar and code breaking, allowing field commanders flexibility in tactics, balancing multiple theaters of war effectively. The paradox: Churchill's slower democratic decision-making actually produced faster, better results than Hitler's efficient dictatorship. The innovation race, why Churchill won. By 1943, it was clear that Churchill's approach to innovation was defeating Hitler's. Here's why. Technological superiority. British innovations were outpacing German ones. Radar technology gave Britain air superiority. Code breaking provided strategic intelligence advantages. Proximity fuses made anti-aircraft guns devastatingly effective. Sonar and depth charges turned the tide against U-boats. Organizational advantages: Churchill's open system produced better results. Scientists and military leaders collaborated effectively. Multiple solutions to problems meant backup plans always existed. Democratic debate improved decision quality. Flexible hierarchies allowed rapid adaptation. Strategic flexibility: Churchill could adapt faster than Hitler. Changed strategies based on new intelligence. Shifted resources between theaters as needed. Incorporated new technologies quickly. Learned from mistakes without losing face. Alliance building: Churchill's approach attracted allies. Hitler's repelled them, shared technology with America and Soviet Union, built trust through consistent behavior, coordinated strategies across multiple nations, created sustainable coalitions. The ultimate irony, Hitler's efficient dictatorship was less efficient than Churchill's chaotic democracy. The psychological dimension, confidence versus paranoia. The final difference between Churchill and Hitler was psychological. Hitler's paranoia. As the war progressed, Hitler became increasingly paranoid, trusted fewer and fewer advisors, saw conspiracies everywhere, made decisions based on fear rather than strategy, became obsessed with control rather than results. Churchill's confidence. Churchill maintained confidence in his system, trusted his advisors and experts, remained open to new ideas and approaches, made decisions based on evidence and analysis, focused on winning rather than controlling. This psychological difference affected everything, from weapons development to alliance building to strategic planning. Churchill's confidence in democratic innovation ultimately defeated Hitler's paranoid control. Final words, the showdown between Churchill and Hitler wasn't just about military might or industrial capacity. It was about two fundamentally different approaches to human organization and innovation. Churchill proved that open systems, democratic debate, and collaborative innovation are not just morally superior, they're strategically superior. This is Churchill's ultimate lesson. In a complex world, the leader who embraces complexity wins. What other strategic showdowns should we analyze? Let me know in the comments and subscribe for more insights into history's greatest strategic minds.